Big Bear AI just made waves with a 4% dip today. And here's a key detail behind this move that most people are missing. And if you want to know what's driving this momentum and how it could impact your portfolio, you'll want to pay attention. I've got something for you here, exciting to share. For the next 48 hours, we're reopening lifetime access to Stockmate. If you recently joined, let's say, the yearly subscription and you want to upgrade to lifetime access, you can do that too. Just send me an email at will@cash2assets.com. This is a window that's becoming more and more rare as we continue to scale, especially as we've averaged 17% returns over the past 3 months. And as you get my entries and exits every day, something you don't want to miss. So it's that second link in the description. Let's see what's happening with Big Bear. They're starting to recover after a pretty significant dip at market open. Now, if we take a step back, really look at the overall pattern, we've seen it holding this level at about $3 a share. Today, we saw it sell down to this level here and starting to maybe recover after that dip. We'll see how it plays out through the whole day. But when we're looking at the levels that Big Bear AI has established, we can really break it down with 3 different things. We have the actual market they're in, which is in AI and defense. It's one of the fastest growing markets in the world right now. Then you have their analysis, so the technicals, the fundamentals, and the financials. If we take a look at number 3, it will be the profit plan and what we could see here in the near term. We kind of anticipated this bounce here at $3, and we've also anticipated this swing before. And in our live sessions, we've been talking about how there is a key level here, but we could potentially see this move play out where it recovers up to this previous resistance. Again, that would be about a 23% swing if that were to happen. So we'll have to see if that swing takes place. One thing to note, very strong support at $3. Take an even further look back 3 months. We've seen it, let's just go back really 1 year. We saw it launch from $1 a share, started covering it here, up to $10.50 essentially, before selling off recently. And these are the new levels. You could start to see it find support down here. It's consolidated in this exact range multiple times since March. And we're starting to see maybe this break above the EMA, starting to see some recovery. And then the sell off today now is, questioning whether it's going to sell back down to $3 or if we could see this move happen where it continues up to that $4 range. Getting into the $5 to $7 range is what Big Bear really is looking to do. If you just hide all the drawings, just take a step back. For a while there, we were way above the 200-day moving average, that green line. That green line will oftentimes act as a support in a bull market, as you could see. And then in a bear market, it will act as a resistance. So see these averages more or less acting as a resistance. But then it broke pretty strong back up above that 200-day moving average, back above the 200-day moving average, and then now finding support at this 200-day moving average again, and it's swept in there. So starting to see maybe what could be that type of recovery we'd be looking for to see them maintain their overall direction. Now, when it comes down to Big Bear and their financials, you could say financials, BBAI. Take a look, recently reported revenue here in March, and their revenue was at 34 million, so better year over year, but missing quarter to quarter there. Their net income improved up 51% year over year and better quarter over quarter, as we saw about negative 146 in quarter 4, and then here in Q1 just negative 62. And then the net profit margins increasing again there about 53% year over year. So as we start to see, this is actually quite what we were expecting. There's only one thing that we didn't expect, and a lot of people said Big Bear is getting all these huge contracts, they're going to have a massive quarter, but they said that they weren't able to count the payments for some of their bookings for their recent contracts. So they have a few contracts, including a $160 million deal with Army, and they have the Border Patrol and the Department of Defense stuff where they're doing the face scanning, as well as their Denver International Airport and Heathrow Airport partnerships, which when I went to the airport, I actually saw that they had the face scanning stuff, so I know it's legit. And I could tell you that they said in their earnings call they have these contracts, more contracts than what they have here, but that they weren't booked and they were booked, but that they weren't in the account, their bank account yet. So they did not count it as revenue, which is actually a pretty, I would say, way of integrity uh, approach to reporting earnings. I have seen things in the opposite direction. For example, KULR stock, Cooler stock, they were seen as pulling future revenues that they had not yet hit their bank account, and they were saying that they were making more when they actually hadn't had it in their bank account yet, which I think as an investor, I want to know that they have it in their bank account. They got that money, that revenue really got hit into their actual bank account. And it's fine if they spent it after that, but I want to know it's real and they already materialized it. So I'm okay with them, just taking that conservative approach. But when you see the financials, you see them improve. They still missed that revenue target just a little bit. You could see quarter over quarter, they were starting to really increase their revenue from 39 to 40. And so even though they said they hadn't booked it yet, we can't just immediately assume, well, then we're fully bullish, right? We still have to see it on the number sheet, and investors still want to see it there. So there is that, you could hear their words that they're about to, but you still have to, look at investor sentiment. After that earnings call, they did sell off a little bit and then recovered fairly big after the sell off. And then now they've been consolidating. So this was the earnings call. They've been consolidating really since the earnings. So wow, that's a lot of drawings, but let's take a look. Yeah, you can see the green line, and right here between $3 and $3.30, really that's their earnings call. They've been consolidating. So that's the financials. Then we start to look at the news. As of now, I am not familiar with any new news that has come out in the last day or so, but let's see if they have anything. We know they recently scheduled a partnership to take place here with Panama, and so they're working with Panama. Oh, there might be some news here. Let's take a look. We always go directly to the source. If you go to Big Bear AI News on Google, be careful. You have these law firm things where people are trying to drive the stock down. That's very common. These are not things that I would even worry about. In fact, I think that they're more integrity. They have more integrity on their earnings than any other company I've seen recently. So I think they're fine. These are just, you got to look at that. And then you have the hype articles. There's the articles that say they're going to the moon. Get ready. Is it a buy? They're going to be at $1 million in a year. And should you buy the dip, just be careful. There's a lot of like hype articles. So we go directly to the source. Directly to the source. They recently had their earnings, and then they recently had this announcement with Hardy Dynamics, which is actually pretty cool. So Project Linchpin is a U.S. Department of Defense effort focused on integrating artificial intelligence and machine learning into future warfighting capabilities. This collaboration will develop new next generation AI technologies to enable secure, resilient communication and coordination among unmanned aerial systems, swarms in extended ranges. So they get into this partnership with advanced AI orchestration for U.S. Army drone swarm operations. So drones obviously becoming, bigger and bigger. I always joke, I'm like, if AI takes over or if we're in some sort of war, I live out here in the mountains. I'm not too worried about, like a robot being able to make its way over the hills and valleys and cliffs out where I live here in Northern California. But when it comes to the drones, the drones on the other hand, those are a little scary. Might have to pull out the 12 gauge. Oh man. But anyway, you take a look at the reality of this is that they're now getting more contracts in their tech, their AI tech. We know they work with Palantir, but now they're really in the same market there as Palantir by offering software and AI to, increase the efficiency of these swarms, these drone swarms. And that's not a contract value we got to see. It looks like there's a collaboration, but we didn't see a contract value. I would imagine that could turn into a contract value. But on top of that, you have some news, right, with the Panama Canal. They have trade and logistics there. So they're going to be at the ports in Panama. And you might say, well, that's Panama is kind of old news. Like, what's going on in Panama? There's a lot going on in Panama. You have Chinese tensions. You have the BlackRock buying ports in Panama. Then you have monitoring and being able, who's going to know what's going on in there. And one of the things that they do outside of their kind of profiling at the borders and things like that, and in defense, they also have their, and they're also in healthcare there. But you also have the type of technology that can look at the ports and identify different not aircrafts, boats, and have computer vision and see how many boats are coming in and out at what times, what are they doing, and really down to the details of maybe how many people are spotted on the boat, what is their speed and what is their timing, does it seem suspicious in any way, are they cycling through something when they don't have cargo, I don't know. But ready information for the AI decision intelligence to provide some predictive analytics, including time series forecasting and things like that. I'm all about it. I think there's one thing AI is good at. It might not be the physical, labor. It might not be coming up with brand new ideas, as a lot of it is based on what humans have already given the tech, but it could be one of the biggest things is the calculations, the data, the math, and the predictive analysis. That's why we're working on, for example, our predictive analysis AI tool for looking at the markets and investing, because I find that to be one of the ways that AI will have a massive impact on the world. I think a lot of people will be able to almost be able to make money and do nothing as a result of the trading and investing predictive analytics that could be provided to them through AI. And I think that's really a real thing that's going to happen. And so, but anyway, this is AI. They have that exact thing. They do the things that humans can't, like someone scaling, like you look at their Denver International Airport. How many TSA agents go in and out? How many people come in and out of the airport? Do you think a TSA agent could look at thousands of profiles in their mind at once and say, oh, that one was a little suspicious, or these people might be connected, blah blah blah, and remember all the research they do on every person? No way. But the AI can go and say everything here, run calculations, and be able to come up with different threats or different patterns that are developing that a human otherwise, really could not do unless they are like Rain Man, right? So, like, it's going to be 4,327 plus, and then minus, and I don't know, times 300 to the 400th power is going to be exactly 2.733. Yeah, I don't know. But there's humans like that, but I'd say most people are. Anyway, when it comes to Big Bear AI, we start to see it pull back a little bit today. It's again down 4%. Strong support here at $3, but also a resistance level here. So you can see some consolidation, maybe some support as well. Right here, you see the support here. And I'm struggling a little bit with that drawing tool, as looks like there's an update. There you go. So support, and that's where it is right now. If it holds 310, that's quite good. Okay, that's a level at which it's bounced a few times and consolidated. But really, the next level for it to potentially bounce down to is that $3 range. So we'll have to see how that plays out, and if it does in fact bounce down to $3, that's going to be what we're watching. If we do see a recovery, again, we could see potential swings up to that 375. That's what we'd like to see. But again, we'll have to see. Right now, it looks like it's a falling knife. It's kind of falling down. Got to be a little bit careful and approach it with caution. But overall, long term looks good. On the 3-step analysis we went through, the profit plan right now would be hold our long term positions as we have an average purchase price below the current price, and our average is $2.80. And when it comes to Big Bear's future here, I would say in the near term, if we start to see a recovery here, I'm really looking for, and we're going to be watching closely for, that break up to 375. If it happens, it is a 20% swing potentially. So we'll watch on Monday. And again, guys, if you want to join us there at Market Open, there's that lifetime access sale that's reopened for a limited time. You get the VIP access, you get the free t-shirt, stock meet t-shirt, you get the private group, and you get over 8+ hours of fundamental technical analysis on AI and quantum stocks, as well as defense stocks like this. And you get our daily live sessions each day at Market Open. So if you want to do that, surround yourself with other traders and investors like you and get to watch me trade live every morning. Then again, right now, it's not getting better than this. Second link below to join StockMate and get lifetime access here this Friday. It's closing soon, so I'd encourage you guys to simply take a look at that second link in the description. Hopefully I earned your thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for all the support lately. We're growing extremely fast, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.